Hey, it's Jenna from The Last Stitch. I love sewing and I have been a bit of a frugal sewist over the years, as in I have been very wary of investing in new stuff, just trying to go the old school route, just using needles, threads, and perhaps some hacks that doesn't cost a lot. However, after being influenced by people who are raving about particular things, I realized there are actually quite a good few good notions out there that will vastly improve this sewing experience. So, in the last year, I would say I have actually bought a couple of things that I never thought I would buy. And lo and behold, well, they turned out to be pretty great. So now I will talk about 4 of my latest sewing purchases. Stuff that I was way overdue is actually buying pattern weights. Yep, well, I stopped using needles when I cut the pattern many years ago. When I switched to rotary cut, it was like 8 years ago. However, I have been so frugal that I have been using kitchen magnets, which actually don't weigh anything. So while they look similar to these pattern weights, they're actually absolutely useless. So after some inner debate, I went down and bought these washers, which are actually quite excellent. I bought them off Amazon. There's a link in the comment section. And these are fantastic, super simple. I would assume that you can find these in many hardware stores and you don't even have to buy them online. They are in fact excellent, perfectly sized, heavy enough, great for curves. I can't understand why I didn't buy them, and it didn't cost a lot either, so I can't understand why I didn't buy them earlier. Well, now you know, these are worth it. And the second thing that I have been like, I do really need to use that, is these type of stabilizing bias tape that is done by Flisseline. I think I said it right, Flisseline. It's a bias tape that is used to stabilize the necklines, shoulder openings. It has a chain stitch in the middle for some stability, but it still has tiny amount of give. And if you are doing a lot of border style, you can see that they recommend this for pretty much everything. As in, I was sort of suspect that they mightn't be sponsored by this particular company because everything should be stabilized with this tape. So I was like, I can cut my own strips using cheap interfacing, fusible interfacing. But then I was sort of shopping online a while back, and I thought, well, I can always try this and see how it works. And I will say that I now understand what the fuss is about. I use this for my red dress project to stabilize the shoulder and the necklines, and I would say that it has fantastic properties, wonderful to work with, shapes beautifully because it's cut on the bias and still has some stability. So I will keep on buying this one. The bias tape from Flisseline. And the third thing, which is thanks to everyone on social media raving about these, again, I was a bit wary. I saw them first on sale at the local Soft and Steel store here where I live. I was like, why should I pay money for something like is similar to basting or using needles? And these, what I'm talking about are these Clover Wonder Clips. Now, these are used instead of needles and basting. So you just pin the pieces of fabric together inside this. And I say I love them. These are, I think, meant particularly to be used when you're sewing in thicker materials where needles won't really work, but I've found them useful actually for a lot of different purposes. I used them, for instance, for my detachable collar project where when I sewed the collar together, there were several layers of fabrics, interface and stuff like that. They were awesome. Plus, I don't really recommend that you use needles for most sewing purposes because needles have a tendency to distort the fabric. So I normally baste the fabrics, but now I will use these instead. So they're absolutely terrific. I can see myself using these so much in the future. And it's great also for when you're serging and stuff because you can just pick them out as you go. So great option, the Clover Wonder Clips. And the fourth one was something that was recommended to me by several readers when I talked about my favorite sewing tips. Now this is very simple. It's very clever, and it's a magnetic needle cushion. So, well, magnetic, that was the same as with some of the magnetic. I got some pretty needle cushions. I don't need something that is magnetic. But I would say that my husband would say that I would very much need a magnetic needle, because I have a tendency of spreading needles all around the apartment. There's a trail you can follow along because we have the mirror in the hallway, so I go there and I leave a trail of needles popping out along the way. So I wouldn't say that this has solved the problems, but it has at least done it better, because it's wonderfully easy. I just hover around the area and all the needles pop up like this. So it's a fantastic tool. Doesn't cost a lot. I can't really understand why I didn't buy one any, but as I said, I have a tendency to be like, oh well, I can do it the old way. What's wrong with just using a regular old pin cutter? Well, there are actually advantages with some newer tools. So these were 4 purchases that I didn't know I needed until I bought them. Links will be in the comment section, and also check out my blog thelaststitch.com, where I actually review tons of different tools over the years if you want to have an opinion on what to buy and what not to buy. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.